Thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of Stop, Look, and Listen. I'm your host, LaTroy Gardner. This week, we have a very special guest. I'm going to call him the Chief Ambassador of Chocolate City. Actor, model, the lead talker of the BackYard band, GoGo legend, Anwan, Big G Glover. How you doing, brother?
Oh man, beautiful day, man. The weather is super nice out. And you know, man, just trying to keep it pushing for the city, man. We got a lot of stuff going, you know?
All right, which isn't a surprise, especially with you. Your schedule is busy.
Yeah.
First off, I got to give a shout to the DMV. So, does anyone party like the DMV?
No, I don't think so. Besides Miami be kind of turned when we go down there, but we be partying like 6-7 days a week,
right?
Before COVID. You know what I'm saying? We be on the ceiling, not just BackYard, all the bands, man. We got a lot of flavor in our city.
Right. So that's one thing that I'm missing, about the pandemic is just the ability to attend music festivals and like this time of year, HBCU homecomings, house parties, and when that go-go set drops, the party goes to another level. So how is it impacting the group? Are y'all finding ways to do shows, whether it's virtual?
Yeah, we've been touching on some virtual shows. Actually, we just had a virtual show that'll be on our YouTube channel tomorrow. We had one with council member Vincent Orange. And also we did a big virtual performance with Cavazier.
Right.
And that was at the Eden Hotel, K Street, Northwest Washington, D.C. Sunday nights, we just started gigging at the Diamond Lounge, but it's been a significant drop in all the bands performing during this COVID. And it's tough. You know what I mean? We try to keep each other up in the go-go community and really just try to work with each other. Basically BackYard is just super in the studio, just trying to build and keep things going and just push. But it's overall been super tight with the currency coming in like it used to.
Right. So let's just talk about your childhood growing up in DC and just discovering your fondness for go-go music and putting the band together.
Yeah, just man, growing up in DC, Dodge City, Chocolate City, it was a little rough, you know what I mean? It was more outgoing versus now. Not just talking about the COVID, just it was just more go-go everywhere. Anacostia Park, Malcolm X Park, Wilmer's Park, all of the spots, it was just a lot of go-go venues. Now it's just more with the regentrification, with everything changing, different people moving in our city, different club owners with not our culture driven. And it's just been tough, you know what I mean? But growing up in DC, it was an amazing time, having so much fun as a kid, you know what I mean? Just watching all of the go-go bands perform on 14th Street, on 14th and Irving on the basketball court, all of the go-go bands, and going to see Junkyard, and just being in the neighborhoods with the older people, with the ice cream trucks and coming out, the slushies, the clam man, Mev just riding around with the clams and the crabs on the truck. A lot of things change now with different codes and things that they have. Now you see a lot of food trucks and stuff around. I think it's a good thing. And then I think it's a bad thing too, because there's no more boys and girls clubs.
Right.
You know what I mean? What we really look towards the boys and girls clubs going after school, getting ready for football practice, basketball practice, baseball, going to SNL on 14th Street, getting hot dogs, green bubble gums, little Huggies, Twist donuts. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Bag of hot chips. You know, things change so much And it's like, I don't think it's more for the kids no more. It's just basically for the revenue coming in our city.
Right. And it's like, from what I was reading, DC is like the most gentrified city in the country. Like 40% of the district's lower income neighborhoods have experienced the gentrification. Just, I guess, continue to hammer home how Chocolate City has become, has been milked to the point where that history is slowly being sapped away.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was saying earlier, it's a lot of different people coming in, and they might have a little bit of money, or they might get money from the city. And it's not that many Black-owned businesses like I think it should be, being from Washington. They give a lot of different people opportunities. Not saying that's a bad thing, but I just say look out for your people first, because there wouldn't be Chocolate City if it wasn't for us. Right. Our people, our ancestors building this city. Once upon a time, Georgetown was all Black. If anybody do the history with the streetcars, Georgetown was all Black. Yes, sir. Like they all down to the Hoyas.
Well, let's jump into that real quick, because I want to make sure that the audience sees it. So Bubba Chuck, Allen Iverson is my favorite athlete of all time.
Right.
Jump into that. Did you cross paths with him during his time in G-Town, and talk about your relationship?
Guy. Yeah, that was my guy, because one of my guys, rest in peace, Big Will from on the South Side, he used to bring Bubba Chuck around. We knew him from Bubba Chuck and playing in Georgetown. And as things moved up, you know what I mean, he kept that same mentality. He kept that same coolness when he went to the Sixers.
Right.
And used to see him parties and all that. He already knew the culture of our city, the music and everything. He ain't never changed, but he was one of the real ones. Right. Bubba Chuck, he was one of the real ones.
Good. Rest in peace to Coach Thompson. Any Coach Thompson stories?
Yeah, Coach Thompson, like a couple of times, like when we used to go, they had, I was in this program, HITS, after school program for kids. We was trouble kids. And they took us to Georgetown, and we had a sit-in with Alonzo Mourning one time. And John Thompson. John Thompson sat in there, and it was a thing with Minister Louis Farrakhan. They were just talking about like how life is, and African Americans going to prestigious colleges and things of that nature. And that was the one time I had a real close interaction with him, because we was right there on the campus. But other than that, I just used to like see him, because I had my buddy Greg Jones play for West Virginia. And they played against Georgetown at the MCI Center back then. And I still got the ticket from that day when Dick Vitale, he commentated that game, and my man Greg put that microwave on him down there. Greg Jones was West Virginia Mountaineers.
All right, shouts to Greg Jones. So quickly back to the gentrification, I had a question. How can we like maintain the true representation of our communities while improving the quality of living there?
Say that again?
How can we maintain the true representation of our communities while improving the quality of living in those communities?
Oh man, I just think that goes to the councils, you know what I mean? Like the council members, like voting in our wards, holding them accountable of keeping our real stories and our real city chocolate.
Right.
I said it before, like when people come in our city, it's no problem, but they just have to know this is our city, our music, our culture, and our sound. So beings though, like you just like being true to yourself, like people say that all the time. Gee, you wanted to change. Of course you wanted to change. You don't want it to be tore down like these different cities. I'm not gonna name nobody's city, but it's a lot of cities that's tore down. Of course, I knew it was coming, because I chimed in and I started learning a lot of things about what's the next step for my city. Well, how will my city look in 5 years? How will my city look in 10 years? So I was asking those questions, and like keeping true and being true, just not being a sellout like I have never been. Like I never moved to New York. I never moved to LA. And I want to stay here, and I want to keep building shoot film, have our music popping, and just staying true to our people. But we have to bring our community up and not just say if we're in a better position and we have people in poverty, not try to bring them up or open a doorway where they can learn something else instead of just sitting in that one little spot and getting a check every month or getting public assistance every month or getting a voucher and not trying to build yourself and just saying, okay, well, I'm gonna count on the government to take care of me for the rest of my life and my kids. And just having your kids with that trickle down effect, with your kids jumping on welfare and things of that nature, instead of going and getting an education and just bettering yourself.
Mm-hmm. So like, has there been a contrast in like the city's temperature, like over the last two presidential administrations? So during President Obama's era versus President Trump's?
Well, it's a lot of things that kind of hit, like especially right now with this COVID thing.
Right.
And then now, like with far as like with me, with my music and my people and all the go-go bands, it's like if you don't have your business straight, you're not getting no business loans. You're not getting unemployment, tax ID numbers, paying your taxes, all of that. So it's super different. With Obama, everybody was like, oh yeah, hey, you got a black president, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, pushing. But like I say it all the time, we are not considered a state. 51st state, we are not considered as that. We make the law here, we break the law here, we make the money here. So taxation without representation. It's always been that. And I think no president has pushed towards that. I know Oliver Holmes Norton, I know Muriel Bowser, they have pushed it hard as I ever seen anybody push it. And them two females, two strong females. And Muriel Bowser is a Washingtonian first. But being like the difference, I think, between Obama and Trump, of course I'm a Obama strong. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, they always say when Republicans is in the office, the street move better. However you want to put it. Right. Democrats, they say the Democrats don't push far and hard as they should for us. And then you always look at our people, where we come from, they say, well, our vote don't matter. Our vote don't count. I think our vote count, but I always say push your local council member to make your community better, your kids' school better eating, not all these just tater tots and frozen food. I say fresh fruits and vegetables for all the kids. Like, don't leave no kid behind, a special education. I just think that what I'm looking for, I just think that different schools, like the Montessori schools and the schools in different places like Virginia and all that, what I'm looking for, the vocabulary and the, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we're just, a lot of our communities, they're not on an equal playing field.
So it's basically it's just like they say, we're a project. And a project is just an experiment on where they think the government is going to go and just keep just like carrying us on. That's just like with the federal penitentiary as well.
All right, so let's transition into the history of GoGo and how it became the soundtrack of DC.
Oh man, the history of GoGo, man, it goes back, man. You got Chuck Brown, Red Essence Reds and the Boys, Lil Benny, man, Air Raid, Pump Blenders. The list goes on, man. And just being a Washingtonian and really feeling that and seeing that, it's crazy, man. You know, we have to tune in and really know where you're from. The history of GoGo is here, and then I'm carrying it on. My band members are carrying it on. And just being a kid, growing up, just seeing it right there on 14th and Irving Street, and just like chiming in, riding my bike to see Junkyard at 19th and M, going to see Northwest Youngers at Dave Cookie, seeing all these bands and just want to ride these different places. And my mom would never let us go over Southeast to go to different places, and we'd sneak and still couldn't get in because we were too young. Just standing outside the Black Hole, watching Essence, could never get in. Just current equipment inside, they gotta really leave back outside. but before the go-go start. But that's what I fell in love with. And I just always try to say, when they took the music out of the school system, like we gotta let the kids know that go-go, this is our music. Nobody in the world has this music. Right. We have our own music. You know what I mean? You gotta let our kids know that this is our music. We created this music here.
All right, so define the unique sound of go-go and finding the pocket. Tell me about the pocket.
The pocket, man, you have to hear it live. You know what I mean? You can YouTube yourself to death. But if you don't come in and hear it live, that boom, 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 the pocket it drives it. It's a driven force that takes you on a level where, okay, damn, what is that? You know what I mean? I never forget my drummer Buggy was like, he met with Travis Barker one time. He was on tour. And he was like, damn, I can't stay because I can't get that beat. You know what I mean? That beat is something special, man. Just like New Orleans have their music, Memphis have their music, you know, in Tennessee, we have our music and it's go-go. I know you can't be duplicated. People try to duplicate it, but it's not authentic. Right. But that pocket is something that you have to experience live.
I love it. So I feel like the genre has stayed relatively underground and maintained its true essence. Is that intentional or?
Well, Chuck, I had several meetings with Chuck as a kid. He was like, man, you know, son, don't let our music die. You know what I mean? We've been over in Japan, all these different places and like performing. I think the older guys that came up in go-go and taught us go-go, I think they were selfish. You know what I mean? And then like the bigger part of Hollywood got into it, and EU and Sugar Bear did the butt with Spike Lee with the big video and all of that. I just think everybody thought that they was the biggest band instead of just saying, hey, let's get together, go on tour, and really spread this music across the world, across the globe. But till this day, go-go music is still big in like Europe, Japan, Germany, all those different places. We just have to tap in. And I think go-go got kind of lazy during the years with management and just was okay making money on the chitlin, what we call the chitlin circuit around here.
Right.
The DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm in North Carolina, and I mean, obviously, most of the go-go bands, including the BackYard band, would come down for the CIAA tournament.
Yeah.
So in you know, college parties, we'd always hear go-go sets, but never on the radio. So is that the case in DC as well?
Yeah. And I worked on the radio, and that was one of the reasons I left. I was on radio for 12, 13 years. I was on PGC and KYS. I used to fight for it all the time. It's like any city I go in, you can come through the city limits and they playing their local artists. We keep the city up. And it's sad, like politicians, they only reach out when they want to get reelected. Club owners only reach out when they get ready to close their club down.
Right.
And it's like, you got to really know how powerful we are and how powerful things we do in our voice. So it's like, they don't play us. They only play us on the go-go hour. Now that I stepped off of go-go, off the go-go show, it used to be an hour and they played us 30 minutes, 30, 45 minutes. Now, Big John is not on the radio and they only sprinkle us. They play a song here and there, and it's sad.
Right. And then like the relationship with the record companies. So like I watched that go-go documentary on TV1.
On TV1, yeah.
Yeah, that you was involved in putting together, and how like Rare Essence, you know, was working on an album and the record label tried to strip them of their authenticity. And it's like, so it seems like you can only do like a go-go album live because you got to have that crowd participation and that energy.
You got to do it. So that's why a lot of those studio records are really successful, I think. Not unless your fans pretty much tune in and really buy it.
Right.
But I think a live album, that's why PA tapes did so well. That's why the CDs, live CDs did so well, because our people are live, they're on studio. That's why I tell them all the time, I'm not studio, but I can get in there and try to create. But I really like to see my people, the call and response. the adrenaline when you see your people like close their eyes and they party. It's a different feel from being in the studio on a blank wall with a circle in front of you with a microphone. Right. And they like, get into it. Get the energy going a little bit more. Come on, give me a little bit more. Gee, I'll be like, I'm trying, but you know what I mean? And then you got to do like a million takes. But that's where I think takes from the live part.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like with some of the crossover hits, like by artists, you know, outside of DC, like such as Salt and Pepper, Shake Your Thing, even though EU was featured, and Kid and Play's Rolling with Kid and Play, like Jill Scott's It's Love, A. Marie's One Thing.
Yeah.
Like, how do you all feel about that? Do you feel like excluding Salt and Pepper and Kid and Play that they were sort of borrowing from the culture and maybe not returning enough love?
Right, I was cool with it. You know what I mean? Because it touched other markets, but a lot of people didn't know it was GoGo.
Right.
I mean, they ain't know it was us. They ain't know it was our sound. But when some of those artists come in, like Jill, when she came in, even on interviews, she showed super love. I never really heard Kid and Play say anything about it or Herbie Love Bug, but they probably did. But like once upon a time, all hip hop was what you make it thinking about the New Jack Swing and that go-go feel. They had said in the album, like this, that go-go swing. It had a go-go swing in it. And that's why I always tell the younger bands, like, just do your homework. Just know what you're getting into. Don't just get in a band just because you're getting a little bit of sexual healing, and a little bit of playing, like people liking you in the neighborhood. But I think back then, even with the LL, when they had the Rototons in it, you know what I mean? It's like go-go had influence in hip hop from day one. And hip hop artists couldn't perform in Washington, D.C. at the Capitol Center, none of those spots, if you didn't have go-go. Dougie Fresh said it first. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't come and headline and then go after, perform and then let Chuck Brown play. You know what I mean? So Chuck Brown had to end the show. You know what I mean? So it was things of that nature that really put go-go on the map. But like I said before, I don't think we really pushed and really did enough with it. And then all the way down to really telling the story, doing movies. You know, I don't think we really pushed that, but that's what I'm here for.
Exactly. So let's talk about the group. Let's talk about the BackYard band, how you guys formed and became the band.
Best band, I think, because we can create anywhere. Started the band as a little kid. Like I said, we started as Mighty Young Ones on 640 Morton Street. Eventually got with Walker Lattimore and at the Barney House across from Lincoln Junior High School, where we went to junior high school at. And Walker Lattimore put the band together with me. And we were so fascinated by Junkyard, so we named our band BackYard. And we got members from 14th Street. We had a few members from Rock Free Church Road, Park Morton, but everybody didn't stay together because people were like different band members was mad, saying we should get Mighty Young Ones back together or we should stay on BackYard. And like, I was the forefront of the band. Like I really wanted to do it. So I wanted that. And I you could tell I wanted because we still doing it to this day.
Right.
And I have a group now that been with me over 20, 25 years that's like amazing. And it's nonstop. We get in there and do it. But, you know, it's like performing, riding on the back of the truck as kids, following the Junkyard sound, but being our own original people. Standing outside of the Black Hole to see Red Essence, just traveling around the city to see the different bands. It was just a plus and a privilege just to say you were in a go-go band, but you had to really want to be in it and really love it. And that's what we did.
Okay. So I know like in most major cities, like aspiring musicians are out on the street corner, you know, playing for money. Is that sort of how it is in DC with go-go bands?
Now you got a little bit of Chinatown And like Junkyard and Northwest Youngers was the bands like back then that I saw, like putting the buckets and stuff out, just trying to raise money to get equipment, clothes, things of that nature. And like the bands used to play for free on Urban Street basketball court. And used to play like over Southeast. They used to play on Saturday evenings and Saturday mornings over Southeast, Jitterbug Day and all those different places over there. But like now, it's playing for the Zooms. We play for different council people. We cranking for calls. We playing for COVID to get tested. It's a bunch of things, man. We performed at the Kennedy Center. We had Zoom calls, platform meetings. It's just a lot, but it's not just like the regular shows that we've been playing, but like the New Orleans, and you see the brass bands and the marching, you don't really see that like playing in front of the subway station. You see the kids on the buckets, but that's not really where the GoGo revenue comes from. It's like playing in the clubs and pushing and making our stamp and putting albums out.
Okay. So like some of your group's biggest hits, like Keep It Gangsta and Pretty Girls, Skillet, one of my personal favorites, Titty Balls.
That Titty Balls, that's Junkyard.
Junkyard?
But for the record, I hit that with Junkyard first at Bumpers. You know what I mean? So I got on stage with Buzz like Titty Balls, and then, you know, it went from there. But, you know, like I said, that's my teacher. I look up to him and I learn from him. And, but we've been dropping hits for years, man. You know, and I don't think we've been getting what I need to say, I don't think we've been getting out just due for that.
Yeah.
We won 69 on the Billboard with the real, you know, I don't really want to say the word, but you know, the album. And I just think now that we got pretty much control of what we're doing now, just putting out albums and stuff now will really make a difference from us, like making that currency. But I don't think that money will be like it used to be. Because they really made a lot of money off us. Them record labels made a lot of money off us as kids, man.
So you used to like do BackYard shows with like Biggie and Pac and some of the other rappers. And I definitely want a story from either artist, but how do most of the rappers feel when you all sort of like sample or take bits and pieces of their songs, like
yeah, I don't know. It's like whenever the promoters that get the artists to come in, they show love. But like the new generation artists, it's kind of hard. You know what I mean? They feel that they are way up there. But like we deal with Scarface, Brad Jordan out of Houston, Texas.
Right.
Devin the Dude, Bun B. And those guys appreciate it. All the way down to what me and my singer, Wincy Leroy Brandon, just made a connection with Raphael Sadiq. And those artists like that, that's already seasoned and been through the weather and been through the storm, they already appreciate it. And we've been with Pac, man. We've been with Biggie at RFK Stadium. They really loved it, fell in love with the beat. And we always kept that relationship, you know what I mean? But the bigger relationship that we really kept was that relationship with Scarface and Devin, that Houston DC connect. And it was amazing, and we still tight to this day. Busta Rhymes was another one that wherever we at, you can ask him, he show love. Man, we perform with Onyx, man, Heather B, Bushwick Bill, all them guys, man. A lot of people. Biz Markie, one of the top DJs in the world, love BackYard. So it's just, we've been there, man. We've been there with them artists. And I just, like I say, the new artists is kind of hard dealing with them because it's different. You know what I mean? They already know. We jam with Meek Mill. He was cool on stage. As far as the younger ones, man, who else? Man, that was cool. That's about it. You know what I mean? The rest of them, it was like, oh, man, I don't know. We ain't trying to, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's cool. You know what I mean? We respect everybody's space if they ain't want to perform with us. It's cool. You know what I mean? But, you know, we had our days.
I mean, because it would seem obvious to me, especially with how infectious the sound is that these rappers would reach out to you all at least for a remix. You know?
Yeah, be live and dope. Also, we had a good time with A-Ball and MJG.
Memphis,
one year on my
Tennessee.
birthday was killed, man. But they killed it. And they jumped right in and fell right in with the beat.
Right.
And it was crazy. Yeah.
All right. So like let's get into the acting. Like of course you played Slim Charles on The Wire, and then you also appeared on The Deuce as Leon. Both of them on HBO. Like when did you discover your acting chops?
Oh man, we was doing little stage stuff in our school, high school, junior high school, putting on the rest elementary. But there's no outlets in DC, so Pro Scout came through. I was working on the radio, and me and my son, we went on audition for it. And I went to Philly, then Arizona. Then my man Jay Coop, rest in peace, used to be on Teen Summit with the Dreads, the license kid. Right. He took me to an audition for The Wire. He seen my headshot in Brian Bullock's agency. It was like, hey, I've been auditioning for this show for a minute. I can't get it. You got to look for it. I know you'll do it. He took me to the audition, and I went and read for a couple of times, and then I landed, man. I've been going ever since.
Nice. And it seems like with The Wire, it continues to, it ages like. Like I watched it again over the pandemic, and it's still, it's still as potent as it was before.
Yeah, that I think that was the biggest boost for my career. Right. And like one of the best television shows, it was super authentic. I still think, like to this day, I don't think it's a show that can out-top it. If you touching on what's going on in everyday life in the hood and all that. And we was the largest African-American cast on a TV show in history.
Really?
So that was super dope to be a part of that. And my character is still getting love to this day, saying I was one of the best characters on that show.
Yeah, it was. Definitely was. So what about like doing animation or voiceovers? Because I'm sure you've heard your voice is amazing.
Thank you. I've been trying, and I'm getting ready to start actually in December, start taking voice classes to do it. I did a voiceover. We rode to NFL TV up in Philly. And I voiced the RG3 and Andrew Luck, Hey Rookie. And I did the voiceover for that, for NFL film, for NFL TV. And I voiced a video game, a Scarface video game, some years when I first got on The Wire. I did a few T-Mobile Pizza Hut commercials in the tri-state, like in Jersey and New York. Not too many around where I live at now. I'm kind of puzzled about that.
Right.
But just to like tune in, I'm getting ready to get a voice agent to start trying to do that. I've been trying to audition for different cartoons because I could be one of those voices for one of those cartoons from Disney.
That's my instant, like if I was like listening to your voice without, seeing your face, I'm like, cartoons. Almost like Isaac Hayes on South Park. Similar to that.
South Park. So I've been trying, man, but evidently I haven't been trying hard enough. But it's just like turning that wheel, man, getting into that. But I watched that Hey Rookie by myself and cut the lights out, and I cried, man, because I was like, damn, coming from where I'm from, who would thought that I'd be voicing over Hey Rookie on NFL TV? And that was huge. Yeah, that was big.
Nah, you've done amazing things, and
thank you.
Like we're proud of you, even though I'm an extension of the DMV from a distance.
It's all good, man.
Yeah,
it's all good.
It's still all love. So, do you have any other roles on the horizon, or is the group releasing any new material?
I shot a movie called Taste last year. It should be out in December. I shot that in Seattle versus the movie I did with Pedro Pascal from Narcos and Game of Thrones, Prospect. That's on Netflix. You can catch that. I play Meekin, a space cowboy junkie, and you'll love it. You can watch
Okay.
that. The Deuce, that was 2019. Transitions, I play Adonis Blackwell, the lead. One of the best. It's on Amazon Prime right now. One of the best series out. I'm just grinding. I'm shooting my documentary on my life right now. We're getting ready to put the GoFundMe out to get the rest of my equipment. If I could pay my staff, we trying to buy a red camera, the boom mics. Trying to get the state-of-the-art stuff that we really need to finish this documentary up. I think sometimes you can shoot on whatever you have because documentaries are different. Right. You know what I mean? Just showing a story. And my story is going to sell for itself. But we're definitely tuned in to shooting that. More sponsorships going on with different clothing lines we trying to tap into, reaching out to Billionaire Boys Club, see what they got. We doing some stuff with Cavazier, not just telling people to go out and drink and drive, but just like bringing resources to the community, talking about how Cavazier can help this community build basketball courts in this neighborhood, where it's a tore down basketball court or a tore down field. We might can get with a council member to put some funds together to build a football field or a soccer field or a baseball field or a tennis court for some young girls can learn tennis like Venus and Serena. Right. So we're just tapping in with these different companies, just trying to build a community up. G-Socky brand, a sock company that I have, we're building up. We've been giving out socks to the homeless youth, working with Sasha Bruce, working with Rolling Rib. We're helping feed the youth, things of that nature, getting them care packs and all that. We're doing a bunch of stuff, man. The BackYard, with my singer, with Ancient Mama, where he do a bunch of stuff with fish fries and just like building up the community, selling fish, giving away a sandwich, selling chicken, giving away a chicken sandwich. Okay. You know what I mean? It's just, we just combine with everything we're doing in the community. For all of we're giving proceeds off seed sale. We give a family food goes to book bags.
Okay. So you're the ambassador to Chocolate City. Give us some suggestions as far as tourists on where we need to go to get an authentic experience.
Yeah. Oh man, that's an amazing question because right now I'm working on this app right now. Mm-hmm. I don't want to say the name of the app because somebody might try to steal it, but we're working on this app for people can tune in and really find out where they can go to get a real experience on the music, the food, you know what I mean, where to shop at to get our clothes, to get the clothes, authentic clothes in DC, the museum. I'm working on this app right now and it'll tell you everything about our city, where to go, where to tune in, what's coming up, what's next, the areas to stop in, you know what I mean? The Buy Black is coming.
Okay, nice. So before I let you go, feel free to plug whatever you need to plug. And if you have a message for,
I got a message too. All right, cool.
All right, do both.
So, man, I want everybody to tune in and get ready for the Anwan Big G Glover story. My documentary on my life will be coming out. Also, watch out for the 2020 single. BackYard is going to be dropping soon. Also, the Street CD we're going to be dropping. Also, we'll be dropping an original album coming. Just watch out for everything that we're doing. We got some stuff coming up when the weather change back up, when you'll be able to get out. And my brother Leroy Brandon will be getting a food truck where you can sell the clothes and he'll be selling his food. And we'll be having a collab or a combo truck that I don't think never been done before, not that I know of, but we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff, man. Short films, the BackYard documentary, the story on our life of the band will be following my story, the Big G story. Oh, man, just a lot, man. Just the G-Socky, we're bringing the sock brand to families and kids that don't have socks with hypothermia during this COVID and during this cold time outside. We have a lot of homeless people. We're going to take care of our city first and go around to the other cities in the world. But that's what we're doing and trying to put this thing together where we can stop these kids from killing each other and killing our sisters. And just shout out to all the go-go bands in the city. Just showing love. Tune in whenever you can. Go to the BackYard YouTube page. We have a YouTube page. We have a live performance tomorrow and the next day. The thing we did with Gavazi and also the thing we did, a performance live for Vincent Orange at the Mansion on K Street, Washington, D.C. Oh, man, many more things to come. Watch out for the GoGo Museum coming at the Check-It Building with Ron Moten. Don't mute D.C. Make GoGo forever. Shout out to all them, everybody.
Nice. So did you say you had a message for
I have a message for everybody,
or for all
the
of us?
world. Yeah, for everybody, man. Just please give a kid in your neighborhood a hug. Hugs, not slugs, is another situation we're pushing. For we want everybody to get the kids a hug, because a lot of kids don't get hugs in their household or where they live at. And let's please put these guns down and stop killing each other. We done lost, in the last 2 weeks, we done lost 6 sisters in D.C., in Southeast Washington, D.C. 6 sisters been murdered. And we got to stop this senseless killing, and we got to pick our brothers up. Don't spit on them when they down. Bring everybody up, especially during this time. And please keep your mask on during this COVID. Because President 45, he don't wear a mask, so we got to wear a mask, baby. Put that mask on and help your community as much as you can.
All right. Beautiful message, Big G. It was a pleasure. Like I said, during this period, like I've been missing some go-go. So I was like, I gotta holler at Big G. I gotta get you on. Gotta talk go-go and everything else you have going on. So it's been a pleasure. And for Stop, Look, and Listen, I'm LaTroy Gardner signing off. See you next week.
Thank you for checking us out on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe for more great content. And don't forget to check out our website at gobradionetwork.com.